Hi, I'm Roger Belcher with the Kids Hope Alliance. In this video, we're going to step through how to do an amendment. And the scenario that we're going to work with today will be with funds being added to an already approved budget. And we then will move funds to a line item not on the original budget, meaning we're going to add a new line item to hold the new funds. And then we'll add notes as well. Some things to remember about amendments. You need KHA approval to do one, and that would start that process through your contract manager. There can be no unapproved reimbursements in the system when you start an amendment. If you try to create an amendment with a reimbursement in edit mode or submitted mode, it won't allow that. So complete the reimbursement, have it approved or rejected and deleted. General line items on the ledger that were not in the original budget are hidden on the amendment worksheet when you first open it up. So let's say that you're looking for a new line item. You will not see it when you first open the amendment. You have to click a certain button to see those types of line items that have no dollars in them from the original budget. And then just remember that it's the same forward and submit rules as all other documents. And other than that, it's not too hard. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, and we'll do one. To start with, I have a budget here, and if you notice, it is set up for $100,000. The program allocation and the budget was approved as such, and you notice the approved status. But if you look here, you see the allocation is for $105,000, and this is to represent extra money being authorized for your program and added to your program page in SAMIS by your contract manager. Once your contract manager has increased or decreased the allocation, then you will be able to start the amendment, assuming there are no unapproved reimbursements in the system for your program. Now, and I want to emphasize this works either for increased amounts or decreased amounts. Okay, so that's the budget that we're going to amend. So how do we go about doing it? And on another tab here, I'm in the fiscal dashboard, and we'll start by going to fiscal documents, new fiscal document, and then we'll choose our fiscal period or our fiscal year. In this case, I'm doing 23-24 August to May. If I can, there it is. And then I'll select my program. I'm using a test program called TP1, and then I tell it that I want an amendment. I'll create the document, and then we will have a worksheet. Now you see the $100,000 that represents the initial budget, and again the allocation for $105,000. You'll recall a few moments ago I mentioned that we will not see any line items unless they were in the original budget until we click the Show Zero Items button. And for the expense accounts, when I click that, I will get everything on the general ledger. Now there's the $100,000 for units of service. I'm not going to do that for salary accounts, but I could, and it would be the same scenario. So I'm going to come back down to the expense accounts, and in this case, I want to add $5,000 to a special line item, and that would be the security line item. So if you look closely, you'll see there's a column for CSC transfer positive, CSC transfer negative. Since I'll be adding money, I'll use the positive column, and I'll come down and click in the security positive column field. And I'll put that 5,000 in, and I'll hit tab. Now I don't do cents. Keep in mind, although it would allow me to do so, at this time our budgets are whole dollars only. Reimbursements can use the cents, but not the budget itself, nor the amendment. So I've done 5,000 there, and the other thing I want to do is put some notes in here. So I'm going to come over here and click the note icon, and that will allow me to type in some notes. So adding 5,000 authorized by KHA for security. And then I'll update that or save it, and then that will be shown there for auditing purposes. Okay, so I've got my 5,000 in there, and that's going to bring my revised amended budget up to the 105,000, which will then meet the allocation, the new allocation. Before I leave the worksheet here, I want to say that it's also possible, although it's not the scenario I'm showing, that you can remove funds from one line item, let's say the units of service line item, and place them on another line item if that's approved. So when you do that sort of thing, you simply click in the negative CSE transfer button, put the amount of money you want to take away from that line item, and then you would go to the other line item that you want to add it to on the positive CSE transfer column and add it in there, and you would be putting a note for both rows so that an auditor could go in and say, okay, they moved from this column to that column. And in your note, you would say something to the effect of moving X number of dollars from line item whatever and adding those to line item whatever. And you would put that in both line items. So it would be easy to determine what had happened from an audit standpoint. Okay, so in this case, however, my allocation was increased and I simply added that to a new line item, security. And remember, I didn't see those until I clicked that hide zero items button. Now I'm going to save my amendment. And let's see, the current transfer balance is 5,000. The total budget amount will change if this amendment is approved. And that is what I'm expecting, so that sounds good. And I'm going to, in this case, click Save again just to make sure I did that properly and got it saved. I'm going to click Forward, just like you would when doing any fiscal document. And that will forward to the submitter. Notice it's in edit mode when it's on the CSC side. I'm going to click View. And now, because I am both the creator and the submitter, I'm going to be able to submit this. And I go down and I take a look at it, and there's my 5,000 added, and I see that my grand total is now matching my allocation. So this looks good. I'll click Submit. And what happens there is that it goes over to the KHA side. And I would have gotten an email on that as a receipt saying that it went over, and I think I just did. So let me see if I can find that email. SAMIS Amendment forwarded. Okay, so if I can pull it over here, let me do it this way. And here you see the email telling me that it was forwarded. So, and submitted. All right, so I'm also the approver in this training scenario, so I'm going to click that, and I'm going to forward it to my finance manager at KHA, and then that finance manager will be the last person to view and approve it. They'll do so and confirm the approval, and now we have an amended budget. And if I go back to the budget itself, and let's see, here we go. Now you see the new line item that was not there initially, showing the $5,000. The original budget, it indicates, did not have anything for that line item, but it now shows amended, and the grand total matches the allocation. So that's how you successfully create and submit an amendment. And in this scenario, we added a new line item that was not originally there. So I hope this has been helpful. And if you have questions, you can always contact us at the SAMIS Help Desk, samis@coj.net, or 255-4410. And we'll help you with any of the technical questions you may have to create these and submit them. However, if you have questions about should you do an amendment, or is it authorized, or how much should you put in one line item or another, that generally would be handled by your contract manager. And we always recommend that you copy your contract manager on any emails that you send to the SAMIS Help Desk. So I hope this has been helpful, and thank you, and good luck with all amendments.